Welcome to week 2 of our class. As you will have seen from last week, this class is very fast-paced. You are doing 16 weeks worth of work in a short amount of time. So after you've gone through last week, you'll probably go back to last week a lot to go back to the MLA because you'll be using that a lot in this class. If you don't remember where something is, you'll want to go into the video repository, which is in course content, and you'll be able to find a lot of the videos there, especially about blending quotations and citing quotations. So this week we're moving forward with understanding research and how to evaluate sources. As you can see, the assignments here are, there's a PowerPoint and an attached quiz. There's also 2 chapters that you need to read, but they are not interactive, so they're not for a grade. However, you do need to read them to understand what you are doing for the rest of this class. I will be able to tell who's read the assignments, although you will not be given a grade in Blackboard for this. Okay, but as for the Connect, this is an assignment and it's evaluating information and sources, so it is an interactive assignment, so make sure you do that one. You will also watch a paraphrasing video where the professor talks about paraphrasing, and you will submit some answers into the discussion board about what he's saying. I'm going to take you in here, so when you look through here, just follow through. The video, How to Evaluate Sources by Stanford University, is not an assignment, but it is something worth you're watching. Okay, so again, here are the assignments. You'll go through, okay, and I explain here about how these 2 chapters are read-only. In this folder, if you were in a regular class and we were meeting face-to-face, or even if it were a regular 16-week class, I would have you actually do assignments that go along with these videos, but we really do not have time to do that. So I am counting on you to go through here and watch these short videos, and also go through and look at some of these links, especially the news media bias chart, because that is super important, especially right now. Okay, so again, we would spend a lot more time with this, but for the brevity of our class, we just can't do assignments for everything. So again, I'm just asking you to go into this folder and watch all these videos and go to follow those links, and that way you can learn a little bit more about how we find really good sources so we can use in our research. Again, also we have this folder about paraphrasing, summarizing, and quoting. You will want to click here to go through and just get an idea of how we do some of these things, how we combine them. Okay, and so just kind of look through here. Again, there's no real assignment here. It's just I'm counting on you to go through this as you have to teach yourself. Okay, but then let's go back and this is that video you need to watch, and here's where you answer the questions. So now I'm going to go into the paraphrase assignment, and it is right here. I already have it open. Okay, and this is it's telling you exactly what to do. Okay, for number 1, you are going to put what the MLA citation would look like on a works cited page. And I'm going to show you a sample of this in just a moment. Okay, again, in a real situation, it would never come at the beginning, but as for this assignment, we're breaking this apart, so that's what you'll put for number 1. Okay, let me go through here. Okay, now, so that would be the first thing that you do. Okay, and then for number 1, you're going to paraphrase just this passage right here. So what you'll be doing is you're going line by line, and you're moving around words, you're changing sentence structure, okay, and you're also adding in a signal phrase. So that would be according to the authors, something like that. And again, I'll show it to you in the sample. Okay, but what you should know, though, is that if you're going to use anything like with the words like crime and beast, if you leave those in your actual paraphrase, you have to put quotation marks around them or you will be plagiarizing. So you are doing this section right here, just this, paraphrasing just this passage, and then you are going to paraphrase this passage as well. Okay, So, and in this one in particular, you're going to use a quote. So in the first one, you are not using an actual quote, although you may be putting quotation marks around words like crime and beast. But in this second passage, you are actually going to include a direct quote with a signal phrase and with proper citation, with the in-text citation. Okay, with that in mind, the sample, I'm going to bring that up right now. So the sample really looks like this, and this is from a different article, and you have this in the folder. So this would be the works cited for that sample article. This would be a sample paraphrase. This was the original, and this is the paraphrase. Okay, and then this part is the original, and this part is the paraphrase. Okay, so again, this is just the sample, and you'll want to actually click on where you would find that sample, and that would be, if I can bring it up here, right here. So if you want to read the actual article to which the response goes to, you can, but be sure you take a look at the sample before you move forward. Again, you don't have to read this entire article because it is an 11-page article about a study that two researchers did at Stanford University. You don't have to read the whole article because you're only going to paraphrase those two passages. However, I included it here because you need to have you need to form a citation in MLA for the works cited page. If you click on this, you will see that there actually is an article there, and there is a citation, but the citation is an APA. So you're going to have to take that APA citation and make it be an MLA citation. Okay. So, and again, I just gave you some information about the Stanford study. This is really interesting because the study, it really does relate to our class in which we're learning to use words, okay, to win our arguments. So that's that assignment for this week, and then you will submit it down right here, okay? Make sure you submit it as a Word document instead of putting it into the, so don't write in the text box here because I need to see format, so please make sure you submit it as a document, okay? Also, underneath that, and so it would go right here, okay? But let's go back into our class. So if I go back into week 2, also you're going to have a library orientation where you will just read, you just go here and there's a link here and you'll know what to do. Up on the right hand corner, the top right hand corner, there's a little quiz, but at the bottom of the page there are some videos that you'll need to watch. And then after you take the quiz, make sure you take a screenshot of your score and then submit it right here. That way I know what you got. Okay, so anyway, going forward for this week, I do want to remind you that you can work ahead as much as you like in this class, but you cannot go back. So once an assignment has passed, you cannot go back and make it up. Okay, so far this class, you are doing an awesome job of getting things done on time and working ahead, and that's going to continue to work in your favor if you keep doing that. I will say though, make sure that you go back and read my response to your introductions because I did reply to everybody. And I also ask that you go into the discussion board and you find other students who wrote in there. That way you can find somebody that you can use for a peer review because we don't have time to do official peer reviews in this class. But I do want to tell you that in order to contact anybody in this class, go here on the left and click send email, and then you'll go down and click on single select users. Over here you can go ahead and choose somebody from our class. So let's say I want to contact Tony. I'll click there and then I'll move it over here into this box, and then I can go ahead and contact Tony. And I can even attach an essay to my to my email. That'll be good. I mean, I hate that we can't do official peer reviews, but this is going to be the next best thing. If you want me to look at something you have written, I cannot preview or pre-grade an entire essay. I can, however, help you if you are struggling with a certain passage and you want to know if it's correct. Then in that instance, email me. Okay, so in that in mind, that's all we've got. If you have any questions this week, please put them in over here where it says questions for the instructor. Go ahead and put some questions there or email me. Have a great week.